Are teen mom fans slamming Catelynn Lowell for an epic adoption law error she recently made on TikTok Live? The mother of four has talked consistently about the daughter she and her now husband Tyler Baltiera gave up for adoption when they were teenagers. She has caught a lot of heat for speaking nonstop about Carly and how unfair it is that she has been cut off from her, but is there more to the story? Keep reading for further details. Fans slam Catelynn Lowell for adoption law fail. Catelynn Lowell and Tyler Baltiera gave up their baby, Carly, when they were teenagers. It was all documented on the hit MTV series, 16 and Pregnant. At the time, this was the best decision for their child to have the best possible life. However, the young couple did have an open adoption with Brandon and Teresa Davis, which allowed them to see Carly once a year. That made it somewhat bearable despite how broken they were. They went on to star on Teen Mom, which followed their visits to see Carly over the years. Catelynn Lowell, Tyler Baltiera Catelynn, and Tyler went on to have 3 more daughters, plus get married, an event that Carly and her adoptive parents attended. Yet, as Carly approached 15 in 2024, a visit was not in the cards. Then, Catelynn was blocked from reaching out to Carly. She has maintained Carly wanted to be around Kate, Tyler, and her siblings. Unfortunately, Catelynn keeps airing her dirty laundry and bashing Carly's adoptive parents, which fans think needs to stop. Now, she has gone on TikTok Live to discuss adoption laws, and some fans think she has gotten it all wrong. Catelynn Lowell discussed how her adoption is now closed. Since it was an open adoption, it was not legally binding. Therefore, the adoptive parents can close and reopen it whenever they choose. However, the way that Kate spoke made it seem like all adoptions were like that. This made fans livid, and they headed right to Reddit to share their thoughts. She seems to equate open adoption not being legally binding while B&T could close the adoption with all adoption not being legally binding. Think before you speak, teen. Mom fans were not happy with how Catelynn Lowell failed to think before she spoke. She was generalizing adoption, and that is very misleading to those who are new to the situation. I'm really tired of these uneducated, unemployed losers. If they were to get a job, they wouldn't have time for all the misinformation they are spewing. They need help. They gave her up for adoption so she would have a life they couldn't provide. What are they doing right now? Dragging that same child into the same kind of family drama they wanted to keep her out of? All this does is cement the fact that Kate gave up her daughter to keep her man, and maybe now she has regrets. Followers were also tired of Catelynn being fixated on Carly when she had 3 beautiful girls at home to take care of. They felt that she was using her for money and a storyline that was getting tired. In the ever-tumultuous world of MTV's Teen Mom franchise, Catelynn Lowell is no stranger to controversy. The 33-year-old reality star, known for her raw openness about mental health and motherhood, has long centered much of her narrative around the adoption of her firstborn daughter, Carly, whom she and husband Tyler Baltiera placed for adoption as teenagers in 2009. What began as a heart-wrenching storyline on 16 and Pregnant has evolved into a decade-plus saga of joy, heartbreak, and public scrutiny. But Lowell's latest TikTok Live session meant to advocate for adoption reform has ignited a firestorm with fans accusing her of spreading dangerous misinformation about adoption laws. Critics on Reddit and beyond are slamming her for what they call an epic fail, arguing it could mislead vulnerable expectant parents and adoptees alike. A painful history, revisited. To understand the backlash, it's essential to rewind to Carly's story. At just 16, Lowell and Baltiera, then high school sweethearts facing an unplanned pregnancy, made the agonizing decision to choose adoption. Documented in excruciating detail on MTV, their journey highlighted the couple's maturity amid chaos, Lowell's unstable home life, with her mother April's addiction struggles, and the couple's determination to give Carly stability they felt unequipped to provide. They selected Brandon and Teresa Davis, a Michigan couple, through their adoption facilitator, Dawn. The arrangement was an open adoption, a relatively modern practice allowing birth parents ongoing contact. Per the final agreement later shared publicly by Baltiera to counter rumors, it stipulated annual visits and updates until Carly turned 18. For years, this worked, albeit with tensions. The Davises attended Lowell and Baltiera's 2015 wedding, and Carly joined family photos, fostering a semblance of blended kinship. Lowell, who has since welcomed 3 daughters, Nova 9, Veda 6, and Raya Rose, born 2023, has often described Carly as a ghost in her heart, a constant presence in therapy sessions, and teen mom. The next chapter episodes. But as Carly neared her 15th birthday in 2024, cracks widened into a chasm. The annual visit was canceled, communication halted, and Lowell claims she was blocked by the Davises. In emotional on-camera confessions and social media posts, Lowell insisted Carly wanted the relationship, citing texts where the teen allegedly expressed love for her biological siblings. "I don't feel it's her wanting this," Lowell vented in a February 2025 interview. Baltierra echoed the sentiment, denying their out-of-control behavior like oversharing on the show played a role. Fans, however, see a different picture. Many believe the Davises closed the adoption to shield Carly from the couple's public drama, including Lowell's mental health breakdowns, Baltierra's therapy admissions, and their relentless online advocacy. They're dragging that same child into the family drama they wanted to keep her out of, one Reddit user lamented in a thread with over 600 comments. Whispers even suggest Carly herself initiated the distance, with adoptive parents taking the heat to protect her privacy, a theory unsubstantiated but widely speculated. Enter Lowell's February 26, 2025. TikTok Live, a 19-minute Q&A billed as empowerment for birth parents. Amid tears and calls for reform, she unpacked the closed adoption, emphasizing its non-legally binding nature. "Adoption isn't legally binding in terms of openness," she explained, noting how the Davises could unilaterally close and reopen it whenever they choose. She tied this to broader critiques, slamming the U.S. system as literally buying babies due to costs exceeding $40,000, and vowing no court battle against the Davises to avoid traumatizing Carly. Intended as catharsis, it backfired spectacularly. Fans zeroed in on her phrasing, accusing her of conflating open adoption agreements, which are indeed informal and unenforceable in most states, with adoptions writ large. She seems to equate open adoption not being legally binding, why B&T could close it, with all adoption not being legally binding, fumed the top post in RR Teen Mom, racking up 198 upvotes and 622 replies. Legal experts echoed in comments, clarified the transfer of parental rights in any adoption is ironclad. Openness is the variable, often just a gentleman's agreement to encourage placements. The thread exploded with frustration. "Girl is Delulu, please seek help. Adoption isn't legally binding. Yes, it quite literally is, because you legally signed away all your rights." One user shot back, highlighting how Lowell's words could deter scared teens from adoption altogether. Another tied it to classism. "I'm really tired of these uneducated, unemployed losers. If they were to get a job, they wouldn't have time for all the misinformation they are spewing. They need help." Lowell, a licensed cosmetologist, has faced unemployment jabs amid teen mom downtime. Deeper dives revealed Lowell's apparent dive into adoption TikTok, reposting from influencers decrying adoptive parents as villains. "Seems like she's discovered other birth moms crying about not getting full access," Teen Mom commenter noted. This, critics say, amplifies trauma porn over nuance, ignoring Carly's agency. One adoptee and adopted vented adoption as portrayed in media is seen as being swept up. Instead of empathizing with real adoptees, they're too invested in the fantasy.